Our sourdough starter has doubled in size, and now we will be ready for our next step. Hey, thanks for tuning back in. This is part 2 of sourdough and divorce. I took my sourdough starter and I added, how much did I add? 100 grams of the starter and put it in the bowl. Then I added 375 grams of the filtered water, 10 grams of salt, and 500 grams of bread flour. And if you look at it, this dough does not look very pretty. It's kind of shaggy. This is what it's called, a shaggy dough. And when you're going through a big divorce, or if you are going through a big breakup, you kind of feel like this. You kind of feel like, it doesn't seem like things are going to be coming together very easily anytime soon. But just remember, it will all come together, and just give yourself some time. So I'm going to let this rest for 1 hour, and then I will be back and we'll start our stretch and fold. And we'll talk about how those stretch and folds really relate to our life as we're growing as our new single person in our everyday life. Stay tuned. Our dough has rested for over an hour. It's still looking a little funky. Just kind of like when we're going through transformation, sometimes we don't always feel our best. But this is a time when we need to stretch ourselves. We need to stretch outside of our comfort zone. And that's what we're gonna do with our dough as well. We're going to stretch our dough and see how it's really pliable and it's very stretchable. And the whole idea of doing this is to make sure that you're building up the strength and the power in your dough so that it can rise above, which is what you're doing with yourself. You're stretching and folding yourself, you're coming outside your comfort zone, and you are becoming the person that you want to be. So I'm going to do this 4 more times, and the last time I'm going to show you what it's like, and when we get there, you'll see that it's building up even stronger, which is what's happening to you each time you are working with trying to recover from a setback or a major life event that you're dealing with. So stick with me. I'll bring you back at the 4th stretch and fold, and we'll continue with why sourdough and divorce are similar, or what they have in common. Thanks. This is our last time that we're going to stretch and fold. So the point of stretching and folding is to build that resiliency, to make sure that it gets stronger. Just like when you are working through your changes and your growth in yourself, you need to really build up that time. Now, the secret is that you have to let the dough rest 30 minutes before each stretch and fold. And that's also important when you're thinking about yourself, when you're trying to heal yourself, when you're trying to rebuild something. You need to be mindful of how you are taking care of yourself and making sure that you are resting, making sure that you are, breathing, and just kind of like stop that racing of your mind and your body, and just bring yourself down and just calm down just for a little bit. And so that's what's super important. And so you're building up your strength and your resiliency so that you can create something beautiful. And I promise it's going to be totally worth it. So I'm going to stretch and fold. And if you notice, this is a lot stronger and thicker and more resistant than when I first started. And so that's what we want. We want to make sure that we have that strength that we're building, which is important for when you are building your own personal strength. So now I'm going to let this rest, and it needs to rise again, because that's super important. So keep remembering that you need to take care of yourself and rest as well. So I will be back after this, and then we will shape it, which will be our new self, and then we will create a beautiful creation together. Okay, here we are. The dough has risen. Look at how beautiful. It's got all these bubbles. It's really nice and ready to go. So when you're thinking about how you're changing and advancing and moving forward, it can be a beautiful thing. Sometimes it can be messy, like you will see. This gets a little messy, but it's so worth the changes and the work that you're putting in. It's a lot of work, but it's something that is so beneficial. Sometimes you get stuck, just like the dough, and sometimes things don't necessarily work out the way we want them to. Like right now, look at how it's sticking all over. Huh. But that's okay. That's what happens, and that's life. And this is all part of the growth process. How can you learn to handle challenging situations and circumstances in your life when things aren't going the way you want them to go? Oh, I gotta move my camera over. Sorry. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna add some. All right, this is really sticky, but it feels beautiful. It's nice and light and fluffy. It just is a beautiful thing. So I'm gonna flatten out my dough. Just like in life, you kind of have to reshape, rethink. And I'm gonna fold over the sides, fold over this side, and then I'm gonna roll it up. So when you're going through changes and transitions, you're gonna roll things up and you're gonna reshape what you normally thought. Sometimes your original thoughts aren't necessarily the right ones, right? And you have to like figure out that not everything is perfect and not everything is going to go the way you want it to go, but sometimes it works out better than you had even planned. All right, so now we have this beautiful piece of dough. I'm gonna put it in my basket here, and then I'm gonna let it sit on the counter for an hour, and then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. And when I come back, we'll be ready to bake it. And then that'll be the last transition from where we started, which was our starter with our glue and all our nutrients that we needed to care for ourselves. And then we needed to stretch ourselves. We needed to make sure that we were growing and getting stronger and building that resiliency. And then we needed to rest, which is obviously something that is super important that we all need more of. And now we're going to let it rest once again. So this is the tender loving care that we're giving ourselves and to our bread. And then we will bake it and we'll get our end product. So eventually you will end up with a new beautiful self that you are going to just absolutely love. So stick with me and I'll be back when we're ready to bake. All right, welcome back. So our sourdough is done. Just took it out of the oven. Take it out of my Dutch oven thing here. I can grab it. Here. Look at that. So if you remember when we started with just a little bit of the sourdough starter, and it was just a little bit, and then we nurtured it and we watched it grow, and then we stretched it and we expanded it, and then we let it rest, and then we put it in the refrigerator and let it cool, and then we baked it, and we have this beautiful end product. So when you're thinking about going through a life change such as divorce, it really does put you back a little bit, and it really does make you feel deflated. And so just remember that by adding those nutrients and that ingredients, watching yourself stretch and grow and expand, you can end up with this beautiful product, which would be you, which would be you becoming the person that you've always wanted to be, the person that you feel proud of knowing and loving and being with. And so that's the beauty of going through this transformation. If you are interested in learning more about how I can help you, I'd be more than happy to schedule a 30-minute I Am Possible Method call, and we can talk about other options, and we can get some ideas rolling about how we can get you to move from where you are, maybe stuck or not feeling your best, to where you can feel accomplished, which is exactly what happened to me. And I can share my story with you when we have a chance to sit down and chat over the phone or video, or if you live in my area, I'd be happy to sit down with you. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate all your time. And if you like this video, please like and comment below. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks.